What is going on, YouTube family? Welcome back to another episode of where we talk about the Nas100. I'm your host, Pips and Points, and basically we're gonna pick up from where we left off from, which was on Wednesday. Obviously, Wednesday I mentioned that I'll be doing trades on Thursday, and I'll be doing trades today on Friday, and I did both. Yesterday Thursday was a good and bad day, i.e., I gained 70 pips and I lost 200. Okay, and that was because FOMO kicked in. So, when you enter a trade and you do bad and then you want to recover it and then you just get into the cycle of trying to recover your losses. That's what happened to me yesterday, and literally I ended up losing 200 pips. That was the price for that. Today was a little bit better. Today was a little bit more controlled, a little bit more focused, a little bit more disciplined. So I went in and I gained quite a fair bit of pips today. So yesterday I lost 200 pips, and today I didn't lose anything. Today I literally gained 150 pips. Right? I gained 150 pips. 150 pips plus the 70 that I gained from yesterday, right, gave me 220 pips gained over the last 2 days versus the 200 pips that I lost on Thursday. So overall, I was profitable just by a small amount, by 20 pips. Just by 20 pips, okay? So let me explain to you what happened yesterday, because yesterday I kind of got into, basically what happened yesterday was I was getting distracted because I was working with one of my colleagues in regards to placing trades, and I wasn't really going off my own technical analysis. So I will tell and it's not his fault at all, okay? Because we were working together, but I now know the style in which I need to work, which is I work by myself, right? That's how I need to be working, so that I'm not taking in any information from anybody else or second guessing the moves that I'm making. But that's what happened. I was second guessing myself a lot, and then I ended up started to lose a lot. So once I got to the level where I thought, okay, look, you're doing too much now. You need to step back. By the time I got to that level, I had already lost 200 pips. But luckily for me, when I actually got to that level where I made that decision, I had managed to gain 70 pips. Okay? And those damages were done over here. So I'm going to show you where I was getting destroyed. This zone right here was where I was getting destroyed, right? So let me go back into my thingamajig, and then we can talk about how I messed it all up. So let's go into, I think, 4 hourly will be better. Okay. So if you go into an hourly on here, go into an hourly, I'll be able to show you exactly where I lost focus. Right? And I lost focus in this zone. This was the zone that I started to suffer the most. This zone right here. Right? So this is what happened. So let me just zoom in so we've got a better one, a better view. So my first mistake was over here. I took a buy at this level, and I got stopped out by the same wick right here. So I lost that one, right? Then I did a smart move, and this was my only smart move, and after that it just all went south after that. It all went south after this one, right? So okay, so all right, let's go into the 30-minute, maybe that will help. Okay, much better, much better. So okay, so it was this one that I took. Okay, so okay, so it was actually this one over here that I took, right? But this thing magic is not even connecting up to that, so we're gonna say it was this one that I took. So I took this one over here and I was closed out in some profit, right? So this is the one that gave me the 70 pips, right? I jumped out earlier because that was due to a trailing stop that I was using, so I didn't get the whole thing. I jumped out about here somewhere due to a trailing stop. Okay, so I got that. Then I jumped in again at this level, and then it took me out at the bottom again, right? So what happened was, at this level, what did I do? I stuck in a buy. So I stuck in a buy at this level right here. Right, so I'm closed out about here somewhere. This is where I'm closed out, right? Got about 70 pips in that one move. Yep, so around about 70 pips. So then I decide I'm going to buy at this level. Don't ask me why I did that, but I did it anyways. Right, so I stuck in a buy about here. And the market flew down and took me out at this level. Then, this is how I know that FOMO was kicking in. Then I stuck in a sell at this level, right? I stuck in a sell at this level, right? Right here. And I got closed out about here. And then that was when I was like, you know what? I've had enough. I've had enough. I'm out. So then I jumped out and I left everything as it was. And I didn't do anything else after that, right? So then price began to shoot up. I didn't catch any of that because obviously I had been screwing up, so I stopped. Didn't do any of this, right? So then this morning when I got up, I could see that price had moved all the way back up to the top of the structure again. So I was expecting price to come back down. And what I did was, jump into the hourly. What I did was I joined the sell from this level. So I joined the sell from this level. And I rolled it all the way down until my trading stop was taken out. So my trading stop was taken about here somewhere. No, it's taken about here somewhere actually. Here somewhere. Let's have a look. Where did I get taken out? Okay, yep, so it was this one that took me out. So this wick over here was the one that took me out. So this wick, if you can see, right here, going all the way up, that's the wick that took me out. And then I waited a bit to see what price was still going to do. It was still flying down. So what I did was I joined it again. So I joined it at, so I missed, so I got taken out that one. And then I took the second one. So I took this one over here. So then I took the sell over here. And I rolled it all the way down. And I was stopped out by this wick over here due to trading stop. And that was today's trade. So I'm not actually in any trade at the moment. But the main thing is that with the help of this trade over here and these three, I was able to recover all of my losses plus a little bit of profit. So that was good. So that's what we did yesterday and today, right? So let's get rid of all of these, and now let's get back to the technicals. And then I'm gonna share a little something with you that I learned in regards to when you're taking losses, the kind of mindset you want to have yourself in, which is very hard to do, It's not the easiest thing in the world to get your mind into that kind of zone, but you really want to if you want to do okay, right? And that is knowing when to say enough is enough. Because if you're doing bad, you need to know that you're doing bad and you need to stop. If you don't, you could end up losing a lot more than you plan to lose, right? So now that we've gotten that little bit covered, right, let's just get into what I think is going to be happening over the course of the day. So, in my opinion, is price still going down? Absolutely. Absolutely. Price is still falling, right? Price is still falling. And I believe that on Monday it is going to fall some more, okay? Because what actually gives me that vibe is going to fall some more. And let's see how today's candle ends. It's this push to the upside, which didn't break above, okay? And then the pull all the way down straight after, which basically means, in my opinion, that these two levels over here is a liquidity grab. It's a bit like what happened over here, right? So price is going to push down and get to this zone, and then once it gets to the zone, then we have to figure out what it's going to do, if it's going to push back up again or if it's going to break straight through, right? Now today is Friday, so how market closes today is super important to give us an idea as to what we can expect on Monday. So this drawing that I've done over here, this little the trend that I've kind of drawn over here, in my opinion, it still stands. So there isn't anything new that I'm going to be adding into this overall structure, because we can see it pull down, okay? And there would have been people that would have been watching, especially on Thursday, that would have saw when price started to go up, especially the parabolic black pushing up, and they would have been like, you know what, the guy doesn't know what he's talking about, blah 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 blah. Price is going up, and they probably would have stuck in their buys, and then what happened today would have happened. All right, so in my opinion, this is a very patient game that we're playing over here. It's an extremely patient game. It's not an aggressive sport. It's tactics and strategy, and waiting for setups to appear. And if you move faster than you ought to, you're going to have the kind of situation I had on Thursday, which is you're going to lose, and then you're going to be trying to catch your tail, and you might win, you might lose some more. But if you really don't know what it is that you're doing, you could end up losing a lot more than you plan to lose. And luckily for me, because I have some idea as to what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, I was able to say, okay, I've recovered a bit of what I've lost. Let me walk away, and then tomorrow I'll look at it again with a fresh pair of eyes. And when I looked at it today with a fresh pair of eyes, I managed to get back everything that I had lost yesterday. All right. And these are the disciplines that I have to actually use for myself. And the rule of 100 pips, which obviously is a rule that I will follow, but sometimes I will break. But even as I'm breaking it, I'm mindful of the pips that I'm losing. And I have to tell myself, okay, look, I've lost enough or I've gained enough. Let me walk away. Obviously, you can never gain enough. So, I mean, if I've got a good setup and it's running forever, I'm going to stay in it forever for as long as possible. But when you're actually losing, you need to know when to walk away, right? So, let's get into Monday's situation. So, Monday's situation, market is still open now, by the way, right? And I think price might push down a little bit more before market closes. So, I'm going to do this. So, let's just say, right? Market opens on Monday, and I'm thinking of what to do, right? First off, we're going to start with the big time frame. So on a day, I would say price might pull back up to about this level, right? If price pulls back up to this level, which is in line with the opening of what day today? Today is Friday, so to the opening of Wednesday's wick, right? your stop will need to be 300. 300, right? Should price pull back up on Monday's open before he continues his way down, because I think it's going to be going down, right? Now 300 is too big. It is too big. I would want to go lower than that. So let's go to an hourly time frame. Let's see what we've got on an hourly. So on an hourly, I would move this out of the way, right? So you've already seen that if we're trying to target the tops over here, these tops, we need 300, right? But however, we could potentially target these tops over here, right? And that will give us a stop of about 68. No, sorry, a stop of about 83. So 83 is what we could be looking at, okay? But then we're going to go a little bit lower than that and see if we can get a better deal. And the best deal that I can see so far, right, so far, is looking at how this thing is forming, how the pattern is forming at the bottom. I would wait for price to push up, and should price come down, come up to these levels over here before it flies down again. So we have this level over here and this level over here, which is considered a low, right? So that is 12. So the first, so the top one is 12.75.9.68, and the bottom one is 12.68.9.45. If it comes down to these levels, then my stop will just be just above it. And if it's just above it, then I can look for a stop of about 57. Okay, which basically means that I'll probably have the chance to enter the market twice in that day if I am super confident. Okay, and then there is all the other stuff that we're going to have to factor in. So what I'm doing now is on the 15-minute. Okay, now the 15-minute, doing technicals on the 15-minute, it's not that strong at all, right? It's really not that strong at all. We want to use a larger time frame, but we're just going to just use this for a minute, just in case of a scenario that I think could happen happens. Okay, and if it happens, we want to catch it on the 15-minute. We don't want to catch it on a higher time frame. We want to sit on the 15-minute, because then our entry is going to be a lot better if you can get it on the 15-minute. So first we have a squeeze, right? And that is this bottom to this level over here, right? Yeah, so that tells us market is squeezing, right? And this is on a 15-minute. And then we have this channel. So we have a squeeze and a channel. And this channel, like I say in all my videos, it's not the first time I'm drawing this, it has a very high chance of pushing to the upside. Hence why I've done these levels. Alright? So I can see that, okay, there's a good chance it's going to push to the upside over here. It might give us a new lower low in comparison to what we've got going on over here. And this is what we want to see in the 15-minute. So therefore we can grab market at this level. My strategy is aiming for 100 pip stop or lower. Reason why we're talking about stops more than we're talking about profits is that that's what we're going to be losing, and we're not trying to lose anything. So we want to make sure that if we lose, it is super tiny what we lose, and when we gain, it's a lot that we gain, right? So that is what I think would happen. Okay, so we're looking at it on a 15-minute. So now we're going to move up the time frame to see how overall it looks. Right? So on the hourly, it looks a little bit respectable because there's a powerful wick right here, right? Ideally, this order block up here is actually showing a bit of promise, right? So this order block right here is actually showing a bit of promise. So let's just cover this zone. So that is a stop of 70, right? If it comes in this zone, anywhere in this zone, we want to cover it, and ideally we want to have a stop just above this level right here. So let's just say, let's move this over here to right to the top of this wick. That's where we want it, right? And then with that, that will give us a 50 pip stop should it come to that zone, and then we can enter in with a sell. Well, that's the plan anyways, right? So what we have here now, this overall structure that we're seeing here is super confusing. Why? Because look at this. It's going all the way down, but it's also wicking through. You would think that probably these guys are watching my videos. That's probably it's not even happening, to be fair. That probably is not even happening at all. But it does make you wonder why certain structures are just not acting weird, especially when we're able to anticipate where we think it might go. So as you can see, it's all the wicks have wicked all the way through, so it's basically not breaking below this level right here. It's not breaking below this level right here, which is also a sign to let us know that it's going to push up. It could break this structure and push up rather than push down. That could definitely happen, because what I'm seeing here is not really making a lot of sense. Let's see what else. Okay, so we got this on the hourly, and we can see that could happen. Okay, but at the same time, price could break from this level because it's currently consolidating over here, and it's produced a super high, and no other wick has gone above this wick over here, right? So none of them have gone above this wick over here, but it's just producing a channel at the moment, and this channel is looking like it could break to the upside, but I'm really not sure what is going to happen here. I'm really not sure. And in all fairness, I'm glad market took me out, because this is one that I don't want to be holding over the weekend, because I don't know what it's going to do. If I'm selling the market, the last thing I want for it is for it to go that way. Do you know what I mean? Whilst I'm sleeping. So on a day, on an hourly, this is how it looks. Kind of looks like this, right? So let's go to a day and see how it looks in a day. And on a day, that drawing is supported, right? So this drawing is supported, but then we have this. We have this channel that is forming right above these levels right here. So if I make this blue, actually I'm going to make this black, right? We're going to make this a bit thick, and then we're going to make this black as well, and make that a bit thick too. And you can see that where prices is currently in a channel, so it could stay in this zone. It could literally stay in this zone for a little while before it breaks down. So we have to see what happens on Monday. Have to see what happens on Monday. Okay, that will be my best bet. See what happens on Monday, and what I would like to happen, what I would like to see today to give me an idea as to what to do, is I would want price to break below these wicks over here. If price breaks below these wicks over here, then I'm going to have an idea that obviously price is going to be pushing down, and then on the 15-minute, I'll be looking for the best place to enter where I can have a nice little stop that isn't going to be too chunky. Okay, so now that we've gotten that covered as to what I think is going to happen, and this is super busy, let me go back and give it a bit of a clean, so we can just keep in what we really need and what we don't. So this has all happened, so we don't need that. That is irrelevant for now. These are moves we're waiting for, so we're going to keep the rest of them there. It's a bit busy, the chart, but we just keep it as it is for now, right? We just keep it as it is for now. And yeah, that's about it. Oh yes, and I didn't even mention, so gonna jump into Forex Factory just to get a view of see what happened in regards to today non-farm payroll, right? And all the rest, obviously, average hourly earnings was previously was 3%, no 0.3%. The forecast was 0.4. It came in at 0.3%, so no change from last month. Non-farm payroll previous was 456k. The forecast was 325k, and it came in less at 390k, right? And then unemployment rate has stayed the same from previous month, and it was forecast to be lower. So if we take this back to what we're seeing in the chart right now, I'll show you when non-farm payroll came out for me. So this powerful wick that we got right here, that was non-farm payroll. This right here, non-farm. And it continued to push price all the way down. And this is where we're at right now. So if I go back into Forex Factory, I'm just going to bring up the calendar, and we're going to see what is in store for us for next week. Let's have a look. And next week, there's only one bit of red news that's going to be coming out, and that is the CPI and the core CPI. That's it. Everything else we're not really going to be paying attention to, but that's all that's coming out. Actually, let me just double check. Let's put all these on. Actually, we just want the orange one. Yeah, so like I said, the only big ones are the CPI. The rest we don't really care. We don't really care about at all. I mean, some people will care about it, but I particularly, I don't at all. So that's what's going to be happening. Okay, so let's have a look to see what's going on with all of our stocks. And as you can see, they're all flaming red, every single one. So we're just going to zip through. We're going to zip through, see what's going on. Just go to the day. And now it's beginning. Tesla's now beginning to pull back. Google too. It's looking like it wants to start to pull back to the downside. It's looking like it, but let's see. Let's see what it does. Amazon looks like it's definitely going to be pulling back, right? But we'll see what it does. We'll see what it does. Yeah, I think it's not done falling, in my opinion. I think it's going to pull back. Netflix is holding a shape, but let's see what that does as well. I'm not gonna lie, these charts are looking, they're not looking clear as to what they want to do. Apple looks like it's pulling back as well. Facebook is still within the structure, so it's yet to break out of it. Microsoft might be pulling back some more, only to push back up again. But let's see what that does. Nvidia is looking, I wouldn't say interesting. Nvidia is not looking clear at all as to what it wants to do. Let's have a look with these two are greens. So Nvidia, we need to break above this level over here. But it's pushing back. But this parabolic, let's see what it does. Okay, and PayPal is still holding the structure, so we need to see if it's going to break below. And looking at where the MACD is right now, I don't think it's going to push any higher. I think it's going to slam straight through. And Pepsi looks like it's on its way down. As you can see, we have this channel that's now formed. It's quite clear for us to see it now. It's quite clear for us to see this channel. Okay. So let's see what it does. Let's see what Pepsi does. How long it goes on for. I think it's probably going to come around to the area of $153. But let's see if it does that. EA is completely blasted off, which is good for EA. Obviously, a lot more people working from home, so they're buying a lot of games now in between work and games. I mean, it's easily done when you're working from home. You can sit there, play your favorite game, and just answer 1-2 emails once you're going through the cutscenes. Hence why employers are like, you know what, guys, you all have to come back to the office. We know what you're doing. You have to come back to the office. You're not more productive at home. You're more productive at work. Why? Because we can keep an eye on you. It's not actually an accurate case, but that's what they're thinking. They know guys are doing what they do. Wait, that. Okay, so eBay is looking like it's on a straight downtrend. So it's got more down to go. I don't think it'll be coming up anytime soon. Actually, tell a lie, I think eBay might push up soon. Let's see what happens in this area. This is the area of interest. See, if it's going to come down more, then fine, it's going to keep going down. But if it starts to push up from this level, then that would be a higher low in comparison to this lower low over here, right? So in all, like I said, all this basically tells me is that the Nas is either going to be bouncing around in this range for a bit, in this little zone area, or it's coming straight down here. But on Monday, I would be looking for more sales in regards to the Nas. That's going to be my play for Sunday night, or possibly Monday morning when I get up. Is I will be looking for sales. The only ways I will probably change direction is if I see something that looks a little bit different to tell me that I'm going to be getting a stronger push to the upside. But looking at how everything is looking right now, like in my opinion, I think it's coming down here. I think the Nas is coming down to, the first stop is going to be 9643.47. I still think it's coming down to the zone, and it's going to play around in this area first before it actually comes down here, but it will be coming down here. That's what I think anyways. So with that said, guys, if you like the content, what you just watched so far, right, you've made it this far into the video and you want to see more content like this where we just talk about the Nas100, just hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification, and be on the lookout to be notified of videos that I will be releasing on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday evenings. Okay, so with that said, guys, I want to thank you all for coming over, giving me your precious time. I truly appreciate you. This is Pips and Point signing out, and I'll see you guys in the next video, which will most likely be tomorrow, where we'll be doing a back test on the Nas100. So with that said, this is Pips and Points signing out.